Lena was a quiet girl who lived in a small, bustling neighborhood with her mother. They didn't have much, but their home was filled with warmth, laughter, and little moments that made life feel special. Lena's mother worked long hours as a maid in various houses around the city. Lena often helped her mother after school, cleaning, cooking, and making sure everything at home ran smoothly. Despite the hard life, Lena had a spark inside her, a mix of curiosity and courage that made her stand out even among people who had a lot more opportunities than she did. From a young age, Lena had a natural way with animals. Stray cats and dogs would often follow her home, and she always treated them gently, speaking softly and moving calmly so they wouldn't be afraid. The neighborhood kids would sometimes laugh at her, calling her a dog whisperer. But Lena didn't mind. She had learned that animals understood more than humans sometimes gave them credit for, and that thought fascinated her. One bright morning, as Lena was helping her mother dust and tidy their small apartment, she overheard neighbors talking about a demonstration the local police were going to hold in the park. They were bringing their police dog, Rex, to show how trained dogs could detect hidden items and follow commands. The news caught Lena's attention immediately. She had seen Rex before when he was out on duty, and she had always admired the dog's intelligence and focus. Something about the idea of a dog working alongside humans to keep people safe made her heart race with excitement. On the day of the demonstration, Lena's mother allowed her to go to the park. The sun was warm, and the smell of fresh grass and flowers filled the air. Families gathered around, children laughing and running, while police officers prepared for the demonstration. Rex was brought out first. He was a large, strong dog with a shiny coat and alert eyes. He stood proudly next to his handler, watching the crowd with focused attention. The demonstration began with simple tasks. Rex followed commands to sit, stay, and fetch objects. The crowd clapped and cheered. Lena watched carefully, her mind racing with ideas. She noticed that while Rex was skilled, the dog seemed to hesitate slightly when it came to detecting hidden objects. It was a small hesitation, but Lena's sharp eyes caught it. Lena had learned some hand signals from a local volunteer who helped train shelter dogs. She remembered practicing them quietly in her room, guiding the dogs to find treats or follow specific paths. While Lena had never used them on a police dog, she felt confident that her signals could work. She waited for the right moment, hoping she could make a difference without drawing too much attention to herself. As Rex's handler placed a small hidden item on the ground, the dog sniffed and looked around, clearly unsure where to go next. Lena took a deep breath and moved her hand subtly, making the signal she had practiced so many times before. Almost immediately, Rex's ears perked up, and he began moving in the exact direction Lena indicated. The dog located the hidden item with surprising speed and precision. The crowd gasped. The handler looked shocked, glancing around as if trying to figure out what had just happened. No one had seen Lena signal the dog, and Rex's response was so accurate that it seemed almost impossible. Lena's heart pounded in her chest. She hadn't expected such a strong reaction so quickly, but the success gave her a thrill she had never felt before. People started whispering to each other, pointing at Rex and then glancing at Lena. The police officers approached her, curiosity and amazement written on their faces. Lena's mother, standing at the edge of the crowd, felt a mix of pride and nervousness. She had always known her daughter was special, but she hadn't imagined the attention her skill could bring. Rex seemed to understand Lena better than anyone could have guessed. Each small movement she made with her hand guided him effortlessly. Lena felt a deep connection with the dog, a silent communication that didn't require words. It was as if they shared a secret language that only the two of them could understand. After the demonstration, the police officers began asking questions. How had Lena known exactly where to signal Rex? How had the dog responded so quickly and accurately? Lena's mother stepped forward, explaining that Lena had spent a lot of time volunteering with animals and had a natural ability to guide them. The officers nodded, intrigued but still trying to process what they had witnessed. The day ended with Lena receiving quiet praise from the officers and a few community members who had noticed her talent. She walked home with her mother, holding her hand tightly, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. Lena knew this was just the beginning. There was something special about the bond she shared with Rex, and she was eager to explore it further. Back at home, Lena couldn't stop thinking about the demonstration. She practiced her hand signals again, imagining Rex following her commands perfectly. Her mother watched her daughter with a soft smile, realizing that Lena's gift could open doors they had never dreamed of. But for Lena, it wasn't about recognition or fame. It was about understanding, trust, and the incredible feeling of being connected to another living being in a way that words could never capture. That night, as Lena lay in bed, she thought about the future. She didn't know what would come next, but she felt ready. Ready to learn, ready to help, and ready to show the world that even a quiet girl from a small home could make a big difference. She drifted off to sleep with a smile on her face, dreaming of Rex and the adventures they might share together. The spark inside her was alive, and nothing could dim it now. After the demonstration, Lena could not stop thinking about Rex and the way he had responded to her hand signals. She went back to the park the next morning, hoping to see him again. The police officers had left the area quiet, but there was a small training ground nearby where Rex and his handler often practiced. Lena approached slowly, careful not to disturb anyone. She stayed at a distance, watching as Rex ran through exercises, catching frisbees, and following commands with precision. Lena noticed that Rex seemed calm but alert, scanning the surroundings carefully. She remembered the signal she had used yesterday and quietly mimicked it from behind a tree. To her surprise, Rex turned his head, his ears perking up, as if he recognized the gesture. Her heart jumped. She had never tried signaling him without being close, but it seemed the bond they had formed was stronger than she thought. The handler noticed Rex's distraction and looked around. Lena froze, worried that she might get into trouble. But the handler just shrugged and continued with the training, thinking the dog was simply reacting to something in the air. Lena breathed a quiet sigh of relief, feeling both nervous and excited. She realized that if she wanted to work with Rex, she had to be patient and careful. Over the next few days, Lena made it a habit to watch Rex whenever she could. She studied how he moved, how he reacted to commands, and how he interacted with his handler. She also practiced her hand signals in secret, perfecting each subtle motion until it felt natural. Lena began to understand that guiding a dog like Rex required more than just signals. It needed trust, timing, and a deep understanding of the animal's instincts. One afternoon, while Lena was walking home from school, she noticed Rex sitting alone near the training area, looking a bit restless. She took a slow, careful step toward him and made the small hand signal she had perfected. Rex's tail wagged lightly, and he stepped closer to her, cautious but responsive. Lena's heart soared. She gently spoke to him in a soft voice, praising him for following the signal. It was the first time she had ever communicated with him outside the presence of his handler, and the experience felt magical. Lena began spending more time near the training grounds, always keeping a respectful distance from the police officers. She wanted to learn more about Rex, but she knew she had to be careful not to interfere with his official duties. The more she observed, the more she realized how much training and discipline went into the life of a police dog. Rex was strong, smart, and loyal, but he also had moments where he needed guidance, reassurance, and trust. Lena felt that she could offer that in a way no one else could. One evening, Lena's mother noticed her daughter lingering outside and asked what she was doing. Lena hesitated but then explained how she had discovered a way to communicate with Rex using hand signals. Her mother listened quietly, her eyes widening with surprise and pride. She reminded Lena that this was a special gift, and it came with responsibility. Lena nodded, feeling the weight of her mother's words, but also a sense of determination. She knew she wanted to help Rex in meaningful ways, not just for fun or recognition. The next week, the police officers organized a larger demonstration at the park. This time, more people had gathered, and the atmosphere was buzzing with excitement. Lena knew this would be a perfect opportunity to test her connection with Rex in a controlled way. She stood at the back, observing carefully as the handler set up the exercises. Rex followed every command, his focus sharp and unwavering. When it came time to locate hidden objects, Lena discreetly made her hand signal from a corner of the field. Rex paused for a moment, then moved in the exact direction Lena indicated, sniffing out the item with incredible precision. The crowd erupted in applause. The officers were astonished, trying to figure out how the dog had managed to perform so perfectly without any direct command from them. Lena felt a mix of pride and nervousness. She had done it again, but she also realized that people were starting to notice her influence on Rex. After the demonstration, one of the senior officers approached Lena's mother. He spoke respectfully, explaining that they had witnessed something unusual with Rex and believed it might be worth exploring further. Lena's mother felt a mix of pride and concern. She knew her daughter was special, but she also knew that attention from the police could change their lives in ways they weren't prepared for. That evening, Lena sat at the edge of the park, reflecting on what had happened. She stroked Rex gently, whispering her thanks for trusting her. The dog leaned into her hand, his eyes calm and focused. Lena felt a deep connection, stronger than anything she had experienced before. She realized that this bond was built on patience, understanding, and a shared language that didn't require words. Lena began to think about ways she could help Rex and the police in more meaningful ways. She imagined guiding him during difficult searches, helping him find missing items, and even assisting in training other dogs. Each thought made her heart race with excitement. She knew it wouldn't be easy, but she felt ready for the challenge. Over the next few weeks, Lena practiced diligently. She studied Rex's behavior, perfected her hand signals, and learned how to anticipate his reactions. She also learned to remain calm under pressure, knowing that Rex would respond best if she was confident and composed. Lena began to feel a sense of purpose she had never felt before. Helping Rex wasn't just a game. It was a responsibility, a chance to make a difference in ways she had never imagined. The community began to take notice of Lena's quiet presence near the training grounds. Some children whispered about the girl who could talk to the police dog, while adults watched her with curiosity. Lena remained humble, focusing on her bond with Rex rather than the attention. She knew that true connection wasn't about being seen, it was about trust and understanding. One rainy afternoon, Lena stayed close to the park, watching Rex navigate the wet field with skill. She noticed a small toy had been left behind, partially hidden under a bench. Without thinking twice, Lena made the subtle hand signal. Rex paused, sniffed the air, and then retrieved the toy with ease. Lena smiled, feeling a surge of pride. The simple act reminded her that even small gestures could have meaningful results when trust and communication were involved. Lena's mother watched from a distance, holding an umbrella and smiling softly. She realized that her daughter's bond with Rex was more than just a talent. It was a gift, a rare combination of patience, empathy, and courage. Lena had discovered something extraordinary about herself, and it was shaping her in ways that would influence her entire life. By the end of the week, Lena and Rex had developed an unspoken routine. She could guide him subtly, and he would respond with accuracy and confidence. They were learning from each other, building a partnership that went beyond commands and training. It was a silent understanding, a connection that no one else could replicate. As Lena walked home each day, she felt a quiet sense of accomplishment. She had found something she loved, something that challenged her, and something that made her feel alive. The bond with Rex wasn't just about control or skill. It was about respect, trust, and the joy of understanding another living being. That night, Lena lay in bed, thinking about the days ahead. She didn't know what challenges awaited her, but she felt ready. She knew that working with Rex would require patience, focus, and courage. But she also knew that together, they could accomplish things that neither could do alone. Lena drifted off to sleep with a smile, dreaming of new ways to communicate with Rex and the adventures they would share. The bond they had formed was only the beginning, and Lena felt a deep excitement for what was yet to come. Lena woke up early that morning, filled with a sense of excitement. She had been practicing her hand signals for weeks, and the bond with Rex was stronger than ever. Today, she wanted to try something new. She wanted to test how far their connection could go, and whether Rex could respond even in situations that were unfamiliar and challenging. After school, Lena hurried to the park where Rex's training usually took place. The air was crisp and fresh, carrying the sense of grass and damp earth. The park was quiet except for a few early walkers and birds singing in the trees. Lena found Rex and his handler already there, preparing for another day of exercises. She stayed back, careful not to interfere, watching every move. Rex's handler set up a series of small obstacles, cones, boxes, and hidden objects. The dog navigated each obstacle with precision, showing the results of months of training. Lena observed closely, noting how Rex reacted to different cues. She felt a surge of determination. She wanted to see if her hand signals could guide him through these obstacles without him being given verbal commands. Carefully, Lena stepped behind a tree and made the first subtle hand signal. Rex paused for a moment, his head tilting as if he sensed something. Then, slowly, he began moving in the direction she indicated. Lena's heart raced. The dog approached the first obstacle and navigated it with ease, as though he understood her guidance completely. It was a small victory, but for Lena it felt monumental. The handler noticed Rex's unusual behavior and furrowed his brow. He called out to the dog, but Rex continued following Lena's subtle signals. The officer looked around, confused, trying to figure out what was happening. Lena froze, worried that she might be discovered. But she also felt proud. Her bond with Rex was proving to be stronger than she had imagined. Over the next hour, Lena guided Rex through increasingly difficult exercises. She signaled him to jump over low obstacles, weave through cones, and retrieve hidden items. Each time, Rex responded accurately, moving with confidence and precision. The park seemed to fade away, and all that mattered was the silent communication between the girl and the dog. Other trainers and officers began to notice Rex's unusual performance. Whispers spread through the small group gathered around. Some thought the dog was exceptionally well trained that day, while others suspected that someone was influencing him in ways they couldn't see. Lena kept her movements subtle, careful not to draw attention, but she felt a thrill in knowing that Rex was responding solely to her guidance. After the exercises, Lena approached Rex calmly, kneeling down beside him. She gently patted his head and whispered words of praise. The dog leaned into her hand, eyes bright and focused. It was a quiet, unspoken moment of understanding, a bond that had grown beyond simple commands or tricks. Lena knew that trust was at the heart of their connection, and that trust was mutual. Word of Rex's remarkable performance soon reached other officers in the department. They asked questions about how the dog had seemed to follow invisible guidance. Lena's mother received a polite visit from one of the officers, who complimented Lena on her natural understanding of animals. Her mother listened carefully, feeling a mix of pride and cautious concern. She understood that this recognition could open doors, but she also wanted to protect her daughter from too much exposure. In the following days, Lena continued to observe Rex and practice her hand signals. She learned to anticipate his movements, to guide him without rushing, and to understand the subtle cues he gave in response. Every day brought new insights, and Lena felt herself growing more confident and capable. The partnership with Rex was teaching her patience, focus, and empathy in ways she had never experienced before. One afternoon, a small emergency arose in the park. A child had wandered off from a nearby playground and was hidden somewhere among the trees. Panic spread among the parents, and the officers quickly tried to organize a search. Lena watched from a distance, her heart pounding. She saw Rex being prepared to help, and she knew that this was her moment to contribute. Without hesitation, Lena made the familiar hand signal. Rex paused for a heartbeat, then darted in the direction she indicated. He sniffed the ground and moved carefully through the bushes. Lena followed quietly, signaling him subtly as he navigated the terrain. Moments later, Rex barked to alert the officers. The child was found, safe and unharmed, hidden under a thick bush. The officers and parents were relieved and amazed. No one knew that Lena had silently guided Rex to the child's location. After the incident, officers began to realize that the girl who had been quietly observing Rex might have a unique talent. They approached Lena's mother and asked if Lena could assist officially with certain exercises. Her mother was proud, yet cautious. She agreed, knowing that Lena's abilities were extraordinary, but she also wanted to ensure that her daughter was safe and not overwhelmed by attention. Lena's days grew busier as she began assisting in small ways with Rex's training. She learned to be patient, to observe carefully, and to guide the dog with subtle signals. Each success strengthened their bond, and Lena felt a growing sense of responsibility. She realized that this was more than a skill or a hobby. It was a partnership that could make a real difference in the world. One rainy evening, Lena stayed late at the park, practicing with Rex. The wet grass made it difficult to navigate, but the challenge only strengthened their communication. She guided him over slippery surfaces, around obstacles, and toward hidden items. Rex responded with unwavering focus, his loyalty and trust evident in every movement. Lena felt a deep sense of pride. She knew that their partnership was unique and powerful. As the weeks passed, Lena became more confident in her abilities. She learned that guiding Rex required more than just signals. It required understanding his instincts, reading his body language, and responding to his needs. Their connection was built on mutual respect and trust, and Lena cherished every moment of it. Lena also noticed changes in herself. She felt more patient, more observant, and more confident in her decisions. She understood the importance of empathy, not only with animals but with people as well. The bond with Rex had opened her eyes to a new way of seeing the world, one where communication, trust, and understanding were more powerful than words alone. One sunny afternoon, the police officers invited Lena to watch a full training session. They set up complex exercises with multiple dogs and handlers. Lena observed quietly, her mind analyzing every move. When it came time for Rex to perform a particularly difficult task, Lena made a subtle hand signal. Rex executed the task flawlessly, his precision and focus leaving the officers impressed. Lena's mother watched from the sidelines, feeling a mixture of pride, awe, and careful concern. She knew that her daughter's talent was extraordinary, but she also understood that it came with responsibilities and expectations. That evening, Lena walked home with Rex following closely at her side. She felt a quiet sense of accomplishment. The bond they had developed was extraordinary, built on patience, understanding, and mutual respect. Lena knew that their journey was only beginning, and she felt excited about the possibilities that lay ahead. As Lena lay in bed that night, she reflected on the events of the past weeks. She realized that guiding Rex had taught her more about herself than she had expected. She had learned patience, focus, empathy, and courage. Most importantly, she had discovered the power of trust and the incredible connection that could exist between a human and an animal. Lena closed her eyes with a smile, thinking about the adventures that awaited her and Rex. She knew challenges would come, but she also knew that together, they could overcome anything. The bond they shared was rare and special, a partnership that would grow stronger with each passing day. Lena drifted off to sleep, dreaming of new ways to communicate with Rex, knowing that their journey was far from over and that the best moments were still ahead. Lena had become more confident in her connection with Rex, and the police officers had started noticing her unique ability. One afternoon, they invited her to participate in a special training session where multiple dogs and handlers would be working together. Lena's heart raced with both excitement and nervousness. She knew this was an opportunity to show just how much she and Rex had learned together. The training field was large and busy. Cones, boxes, and various obstacles were set up, and the officers explained the tasks. Dogs would have to find hidden items, navigate through obstacles, and respond to commands quickly. Lena stayed near the sidelines, observing carefully. She noticed that some of the dogs seemed unsure of certain tasks, hesitant in ways that reminded her of Rex before their bond had grown strong. When it was Rex's turn, Lena made her subtle hand signal from a distance. The dog paused briefly, then started moving in the direction she indicated. His movements were precise, his focus sharp, and the other officers watched with curiosity. Each time Rex completed a task successfully, Lena felt a thrill of pride. She realized that her silent guidance was helping him in ways the handlers could not fully see. The officers were impressed, but they also wanted to test Lena's abilities in more challenging scenarios. They set up a search exercise where Rex had to find a hidden object in a cluttered area. Lena took a deep breath and made the familiar hand signal. Rex moved carefully through the space, sniffing and searching, until he located the item. The officers were astonished, trying to understand how a girl had managed to guide a fully trained police dog so effectively. As the day went on, Lena continued to guide Rex through various tasks. Each exercise was more complex than the last, and Rex responded flawlessly every time. The officers began asking questions, wanting to learn how Lena had developed such a strong bond with the dog. Lena's mother watched from a nearby bench, feeling a mix of pride and cautious concern. She knew that her daughter's talent was extraordinary, but she also knew that attention from the police could bring unexpected challenges. After the exercises, one of the senior officers spoke to Lena privately. He explained that they had seen something remarkable in the way she communicated with Rex and wanted to explore it further. He asked if Lena would be willing to assist officially with certain training exercises. Lena felt a mixture of excitement and responsibility. She knew this was a chance to make a real difference, and she was ready to accept it. Over the next few weeks, Lena began working more closely with the police and Rex. She learned the importance of patience, timing, and subtlety in guiding the dog. Each day brought new challenges, but Lena approached them with determination and focus. She practiced her hand signals meticulously, understanding that even the smallest gesture could have a significant impact on Rex's behavior. One day, a situation arose that tested Lena's abilities like never before. A small child had wandered off near a wooded area close to the park. Panic spread among the parents, and the officers quickly organized a search. Lena watched from a safe distance, her heart pounding. She knew that her guidance could help Rex find the child quickly and safely. With a deep breath, Lena made the subtle hand signal. Rex paused, then began moving in the direction she indicated. He sniffed carefully through the bushes, weaving around obstacles, until he barked to alert the officers. The child was found safe, hidden under a tree. The officers were amazed, and the parents were relieved. No one knew that Lena had silently guided Rex to the child's location, and she felt a quiet sense of accomplishment. After the incident, Lena's role with the police became more official. She was invited to assist in training exercises regularly, guiding Rex and sometimes other dogs through tasks. She learned to anticipate the dog's reactions, to respond to their needs, and to maintain calm under pressure. Each success strengthened the bond she had with Rex and increased the officer's trust in her abilities. Lena also began to understand the impact her gift could have on the community. She realized that her guidance could help find lost children, assist in locating hidden items, and even support police operations in subtle ways. The responsibility was great, but Lena embraced it fully, knowing that she was making a positive difference. As her confidence grew, Lena started mentoring other children in the neighborhood who were interested in working with animals. She shared basic techniques, emphasizing patience, respect, and understanding. Lena wanted others to experience the joy of connecting with animals while also understanding the importance of responsibility and trust. One evening, after a long day of training, Lena sat quietly with Rex in the park. She gently patted his head and whispered words of praise. The dog leaned into her hand, eyes calm and focused. Lena felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She knew that their partnership was unique and powerful, built on trust and mutual respect. The experiences they had shared had taught her lessons that went beyond dog training. They had taught her about patience, empathy, and courage. Lena's mother watched from a nearby bench, proud of her daughter's growth and accomplishments. She knew that Lena had discovered something extraordinary about herself, and that this journey would shape her life in profound ways. The bond between Lena and Rex was more than a skill. It was a connection that had transformed both of them. Over the next few weeks, Lena continued to work with Rex and the police, facing new challenges and honing her abilities. Each day brought new lessons, and Lena embraced them fully. She learned that guiding Rex required more than hand signals. It required observation, understanding, and the ability to respond to subtle cues. The bond they shared grew stronger with each passing day, and Lena felt a deep sense of pride and fulfillment. One day, the police organized a community event to showcase the skills of their dogs. Lena and Rex were invited to participate. The crowd gathered, eager to see the demonstration. Lena stood beside Rex, feeling a mixture of excitement and nervousness. When it was their turn, she made the subtle hand signals that guided Rex through the exercises. The dog performed flawlessly, impressing everyone with his precision and focus. The crowd applauded, and Lena felt a sense of pride and accomplishment. She realized that their bond was not only helping in training and real-life situations but also inspiring others. People were amazed at the connection between a young girl and a police dog, and Lena felt grateful for the opportunity to make a difference. That evening, Lena walked home with Rex by her side, reflecting on the day's events. She felt a quiet sense of fulfillment, knowing that she had contributed to the community and strengthened her bond with Rex. She understood that their partnership was special, built on trust, patience, and understanding. As Lena lay in bed that night, she thought about the journey that had brought her here. From observing Rex at the park to guiding him through challenging exercises, she had grown in confidence, skill, and understanding. She realized that her bond with Rex was more than a talent. It was a responsibility and a gift that could make a positive impact on the world. Lena drifted off to sleep with a smile, dreaming of new challenges, adventures, and ways to continue building her partnership with Rex. She knew that the journey was far from over, and that the experiences ahead would continue to teach her valuable lessons. The bond they shared was rare and powerful, and Lena felt ready to face whatever challenges awaited them, confident in their ability to work together and make a difference. Lena had grown into her role with the police and Rex. Over the weeks, their bond had become unshakable, built on trust, understanding, and countless hours of practice. Each day brought new challenges, and Lena faced them with confidence. She understood that guiding a police dog was more than skill. It required patience, empathy, and the ability to stay calm under pressure. One bright morning, the officers organized a large-scale training exercise in the city park. The exercise was designed to test the dog's abilities in simulated emergencies, including locating hidden objects, navigating obstacles, and assisting in mock search and rescue missions. Lena was excited but also nervous. She knew this would be a true test of her connection with Rex. The park was crowded with officers, trainers, and spectators. Dogs of various breeds performed their tasks, and the crowd clapped and cheered for each successful attempt. Lena stayed focused, keeping a watchful eye on Rex. She could feel his energy, his focus, and his readiness to follow her guidance. She had learned to communicate with him silently, and today that skill would be put to the ultimate test. When it was Rex's turn, Lena stepped to the edge of the course, making sure to remain subtle. She made the familiar hand signal, guiding Rex toward a hidden object buried beneath a pile of leaves. Rex paused briefly, then began moving in the direction Lena indicated. His movements were precise, his nose working diligently, and the spectators watched in awe. Within moments, Rex uncovered the hidden object, and the crowd erupted in applause. The officers were amazed. They had witnessed Rex performing exceptionally, but no one could explain how the dog had located the object so quickly without direct commands from his handler. Lena stayed calm, her heart racing with quiet pride. She knew it was their connection that had made it possible. The next exercise was more complex. Rex had to navigate a maze of obstacles while searching for a missing item. Lena's hand movements were subtle, almost invisible, but Rex responded perfectly, weaving through the maze, avoiding obstacles, and locating the hidden item with remarkable accuracy. The officers watched closely, whispering to each other, impressed and curious about Lena's role in guiding the dog. After the exercises, one of the senior officers approached Lena. He praised her for her exceptional ability to communicate with Rex and suggested that she could play a formal role in assisting with police dog training. Lena's mother, who had been observing from the sidelines, felt a mixture of pride and concern. She knew this opportunity could change Lena's life, but she also wanted to protect her daughter from too much attention and pressure. Over the following weeks, Lena began working closely with the police. She assisted in training exercises, guided Rex and other dogs, and helped develop strategies for communication and teamwork. She learned the importance of timing, observation, and subtlety. Each success reinforced her confidence, and she felt a deep sense of responsibility for the animals she worked with. One afternoon, an unexpected situation arose. A small child had wandered off near a wooded area, and panic spread among the parents. The officers quickly organized a search, and Lena knew that her guidance could help Rex locate the child safely and efficiently. She made a subtle hand signal and Rex sprang into action. He sniffed the ground, moved through the underbrush, and barked to alert the officers. The child was found safe and the parents were relieved. Lena felt a quiet satisfaction, knowing that their teamwork had made a real difference. Lena's bond with Rex continued to strengthen. She learned to anticipate his movements, respond to his subtle cues, and guide him with patience and understanding. Their partnership was built on trust, and it showed in every exercise and real-life scenario they faced together. Lena began mentoring other children who were interested in working with animals, teaching them the importance of patience, empathy, and careful communication. One evening, after a long day of training, Lena sat quietly with Rex in the park. She gently stroked his head, whispering words of praise. Rex leaned into her hand, eyes calm and trusting. Lena felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She knew that their bond was rare and powerful, and that their work had a meaningful impact on the community. The community began to take notice of Lena and Rex. People were amazed by the connection between a young girl and a police dog, and Lena's role became a source of inspiration. She remained humble, focusing on her responsibilities and the joy of working with Rex. She understood that true success was not about recognition, but about trust, teamwork, and making a positive difference. As weeks turned into months, Lena faced new challenges and opportunities. She worked with different dogs, assisted in training new recruits, and helped develop strategies for search and rescue missions. Each day taught her something new, and she embraced the learning process with determination and focus. Lena had discovered a purpose that brought meaning and fulfillment to her life. One morning, during a particularly challenging training session, Lena guided Rex through a complex search scenario. The dog moved with precision, following her subtle hand signals to locate multiple hidden objects. The officers watched closely, impressed by the seamless coordination between the girl and the dog. Lena felt a sense of pride and accomplishment. She knew that their hard work and dedication had paid off, and that their partnership was extraordinary. That evening, Lena walked home with Rex at her side, reflecting on how far they had come. From the first demonstration at the park to guiding Rex through complex exercises and real-life situations, their journey had been filled with growth, challenges, and triumphs. Lena felt grateful for the trust, loyalty, and connection they shared. As Lena lay in bed that night, she thought about the adventures that awaited them. She knew that there would be challenges ahead, but she also knew that their bond was strong enough to overcome anything. Lena had discovered the power of trust, patience, and understanding, and she felt confident in her ability to continue making a difference. The story of Lena and Rex was one of courage, determination, and the extraordinary connection between a human and an animal. Lena's journey had taught her valuable lessons about empathy, responsibility, and the importance of believing in oneself. She had shown that even a young girl from a modest background could make a significant impact through dedication, care, and the special bond she shared with her dog. As Lena drifted off to sleep, she smiled, knowing that this was only the beginning. The bond she shared with Rex was unbreakable, and together, they would face whatever challenges came their way. Lena felt ready for the future, confident in their partnership, and inspired by the incredible journey that had brought them to this point. Their story was one of hope, courage, and the power of connection, leaving an enduring impression on everyone who witnessed it.